The architecture of sovereignty, the commute, is dead. Not because of a pandemic, not because of technology. Because the equation changed. Every hour spent in transit is an hour of cognitive capital burned. Every fluorescent lit cubicle is a tax on your nervous system. And the women who understood this first, they didn't quit, they relocated their operations. By the end of this video, you will understand why your home is not a fallback plan. It is a strategic asset, and the role you're building inside it isn't work from home. It's domestic command. Let's build. There is a migration happening that economists are only beginning to track. The talent is leaving the skyscraper. Not for another skyscraper, for sovereignty. Economic data suggests that knowledge workers, particularly women with advanced degrees, are exiting traditional employment structures at unprecedented rates. Not because they lack ambition, because they've done the math. The corporate model promised equity. It delivered exhaustion. It promised advancement. It delivered a glass ceiling disguised as a leadership pipeline. And the women who spent a decade optimizing other people's operations, they're now asking a different question. What if I built my own infrastructure instead? This is not about rejecting work. This is about rejecting the architecture of work that was designed for a different era, a different body, a different life. You are not tired because you are weak. You are tired because you have been investing your intellectual capital into a system that extracts value and returns volatility. Your exhaustion is not a symptom of failure. It is market feedback. The old model is this. You trade time for money. You climb a ladder someone else built. You optimize for someone else's exit strategy. The new model is this. You build equity. In systems, in knowledge, in relationships, and you do it from the place where you have the most control, the lowest overhead, and the highest trust. Your home. Let me introduce you to a concept that venture capital firms understand but rarely name in public. Operational sovereignty. It is the ability to control the terms of your production. The hours, the clients, the aesthetic, the interruptions, everything. In a traditional office, you have zero sovereignty. Your calendar is colonized by other people's urgency. Your focus is interrupted by meetings that could have been emails. Your nervous system is regulated by someone else's fluorescent lighting and HVAC schedule. But at home, you are the chief operating officer of your own cognitive environment. This is not about comfort. This is about competitive advantage. When you work from home, you eliminate the second shift of office performance. You are not performing professionalism for an audience that conflates presence with productivity. You are not code switching. You are not managing someone else's anxiety about whether you're really working. You are just working. And here is the part that the old guard does not want to admit. The skills that make you effective at home, empathy, intuition, patience, relational intelligence are the exact skills that AI cannot replicate. The world calls it soft skills. We call it strategic leverage. Because while machines can automate execution, they cannot automate trust. They cannot read a client's hesitation in an email. They cannot sense when a project needs a human touch instead of a template. They cannot build the kind of loyalty that turns a one-time transaction into a decade-long relationship. This is your unfair advantage. And the women who understand this are not trying to compete with AI. They are building AI-proof empires. Let's talk infrastructure, because sovereignty without systems is just chaos in a prettier location. If you were building a Fortune 500 company, you would not run it from a chaotic desk with a broken chair and a laptop balanced on a stack of bills. You would invest in capital expenditure. The tools that signal to your brain and to everyone around you that the operator is online. I am going to tell you about one piece of infrastructure that changed the way I work. Noise-canceling headphones. Not because I need to block out the world, because I need to curate it. When I put them on and silence it is a neurological switch. My brain understands. We are in production mode now. The home is still here. The children are still here. But for this hour, I am unreachable. I call it the sanctuary switch. And here is what I have learned. Boundaries are not about keeping people out. They are about protecting the quality of your presence when you let them in. You do not need a separate office. You do not need a nanny. You need a signal, a threshold. A way to move from domestic to command and back again with intention. The women who thrive working from home are not the ones with the most childcare. They are the ones with the most clarity about transitions. And that clarity, it is built with tools. Other examples, a high-end journal that lives on your desk. Not for journaling, for analog database management. The act of writing by hand slows your cognition just enough to filter noise from signal. It is a hedge against the dopamine economy of digital distraction. Or, ergonomic lighting. Not because it is trendy. Because it is a respect signal to your circadian rhythm, to your focus, to the fact that your body is not a machine that can perform under any conditions. These are not indulgences. They are CapEx, capital expenditure for the domestic HQ. And if you are thinking, I cannot afford that right now, I want you to reframe the question. You cannot afford not to, because every hour you spend in a low-quality cognitive environment is an hour of diminished output, and diminished output compounded over months. That is the real cost. Now let's talk about what you are actually building. Because this is not about making money from home. This is about building legacy infrastructure. The role you are creating, whether it is administrative support, client coordination, operations management, is not a side income. It is a proof of concept. Proof that you can generate revenue without sacrificing presence. Proof that you can build systems that scale. Proof that you can operate with precision in an environment that the old guard dismisses as too distracting. And here is the long game. The children watching you work from home are learning a different model of work. They are not learning that success means leaving every morning and returning exhausted every night. They are learning that work is something you design. That value is something you create, not something you commute to. This is generational reprogramming. You are not just earning income. You are rewriting the inheritance. Economic sovereignty is not a luxury. It is a dynasty strategy. Because the women who build from home are not escaping the world. They are building the terms on which they engage with it. Let me tell you what this looks like in practice. You wake up, no commute. That is an extra 90 minutes of cognitive capital returned to you. You do not spend it scrolling. You spend it designing the day. You open your laptop, the tools are in place. The boundaries are clear. The clients know your hours. The children know the signal. You work, not in a panic, not in performance, in flow. And when the work is done, you close the laptop. You do not leave the office. You leave the role. Because sovereignty is not about working all the time. It is about working on your terms. This is what the corporate model could never offer you. The ability to be fully present in both domains. Not because you are superhuman, because you removed the structural interference. The commute, the office politics, the performance tax, the cognitive load of pretending that you do not have a life outside of work. You removed the architecture of exhaustion, and you replaced it with the architecture of command. I want to close with this. The noise of children in the background is not a distraction. It is the reason for the empire. The laundry that needs folding is not an interruption. It is a reminder that you are building something that serves life, not something that life serves. And the quiet moments when the house is still, and you are alone with your laptop and your vision, those are not escapes. They are board meetings with yourself. You are the CEO, the CFO, the chief of staff, and the work you are doing from home is not small. It is not a compromise. It is not a phase. It is the foundation for financial autonomy, for schedule sovereignty, for the ability to say no to opportunities that do not serve the architecture you are building. This day is not about working from home. This is about ruling from home. And the women who understand this distinction, they are not waiting for permission. They are not waiting for validation. They are not waiting for the perfect moment. They are building now. With the tools they have, in the space they occupy, with the sovereignty they claim. So let me ask you, where are you building your empire from? Is it a corner of the kitchen table? A repurposed closet? A quiet room that used to be just storage? It does not matter. What matters is that you see it for what it is. Not a limitation, an asset. And the skills you bring to it, the empathy, the patience, the relational intelligence, the ability to hold complexity, those are not soft. They are steel wrapped in silk. Disclaimer. This content is for educational and informational purposes only and does not replace consultation with a professional. Always consult a qualified professional for any questions related to finance or business. Tell us in the comments, where are you building your empire from? See you in the next video.